My name is Gerard Morris in the presenter's chair alongside
Stephen Compton.
We sincerely apologize for not bringing the Freedom News archive for this year earlier, but howbeit the news archive is back on your radio. Freedom News Archive is a 1 full hour of news and magazine program that brings you all the latest highlights of news from Liberia that we carry during the week. Due to some circumstances, Freedom News Archive was off the radio. But today we are here bringing you the first edition of the program for the year 2023. Stories we are following this morning on the Freedom News Archive. During the week, the chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change Strategic Committee, that Strategic and Engagement Committee, Len Eugene Nangwe, disclosed that the government of Liberia and the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development has signed a loan agreement in the tune of 100 million United States dollars for the construction of a coastal highway road project.
During the week, the embattled political leader of opposition Liberty Party and Greenbassa County Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence maintained her support for the Unity Party's standard-bearer Joseph Boyka ahead of the October 10 elections.
And also during the week in our headlines, Public Works Minister Ruth Collins says the WIAS-led administration has made significant progress in road connectivities across the country. The details of these developments, the voices beyond those newsmakers, plus your text reaction on our live Facebook feed, coupled with old school Liberian music are all packaged on this edition of the Freedom News Archive. We're taking a very short break to be right back with our developments. Welcome back to the Freedom News Archive. We take our first development. The chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change Strategic and Engagement Committee, Len Eugene Nangwe, during a week disclosed that the government of Liberia and the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development had signed a loan agreement in a tune of 100 million United States dollars for the construction of a coastal highway. That's a coastal highway road project, appearing as guest on the ELBC Super Morning Show Wednesday of the week in Monrovia. Nangwe said a feasibility study has been concluded for the first coastal highway project from Grand Bassa County to Maryland County. According to the Maritime Authority Commissioner, it is true and correct that more needs to be done by the government. Still, the government is making sure that the country remains on the right trajectory. Here is the Maritime Commissioner, Len Eugene Nangwe, there speaking during the week.
The president continued. Why? Because he believed that a coastal highway from Basso straight to Maryland would be a good thing for the country. They came back with a proposal after we granted them the concession. They came up with a proposal that was tying our reserve to the contract. IMF, everybody said, no, it's not workable, it can't work like this. So the president didn't stop there. Google, eBay, he said, but we got to find other means. So Eton was a means to an end. Eton and Ibomap were trying to find money from them to pre-finance the construction of the coastal highway. They did not do it, but did the president stop? He asked the same people, the World Bank, said, well, okay, so you say this is not a good deal and it will affect our relationship with the IMF and the World Bank. What can we do? The president of the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development came to Liberia. Right now, just last week, they completed the feasibility study for the coastal highway. They'll be sitting there. And I told the Minister of Public Works to publish it. We already have 100 million that has been approved for this project. So it after COVID to start the feasibility. So we have 100 million sitting there. Whether the president is president or not, at least he has brought 100 million for the coastal highway. They will start it and it will be done. I say, believe me, just Google eBay coastal highway Liberia. If you see the approval for the board of directors of the ECOWAS Bank. So is that what you call failure? They talk about Bali Island. The Indian government still have the money available to start the project. So what did the president do? He said, let's start creating the access road. When you have an idea, a project, for example, Abuja, when Abuja concept was created, they didn't have it right away, and they still did it Abuja. So the president did not tell you that he will build a whole city in 1 year. That was interrupted by 2.5 years of COVID. So it's an existing project. Those projects that can go ahead are going on. Why I can ask about the project that are going on in Nimba or the project that are going on in Lofa?
He is the chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change Strategic and Engagement Committee, Lenny Eugene Nangwe, there speaking during the week.
During the week, the embattled political leader of opposition Liberty Party and Grand Bassa County Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence maintained her support for Unity Party standard bearer Joseph Boyka ahead of the October 10 elections. She said her action and direction is in execution of identifying, declaring, and defending the right path meant to put the country first and foremost. According to her, the statement is in fulfillment of a patriotic duty to take a course of action that will mark the beginning of a significant turn in the political history of the country.
Years of consultation have given us an insight into why and how we must act. In arriving at the decision we announced here today, following those engagements, we are guided by the following considerations. One, the safeguarding of the political image of me and my team. The general direction of our partisans and supporters. The prospect of forming a winning ticket at this time of the electoral calendar. And the long-term best interest of our nation. We do not see it necessary to form a political alliance. In relation to Mr. Thomas ANC, we do not see it necessary to form a political alliance. We believe actors on our national political stage must have a deeper self-examination of training political events that will lend themselves to political collaboration or the reverse thereof. In limited practice, specific case, there will be a deviation and indeed a betrayal of the trust and confidence of our thousands of partisans. So on witness find the political leader sitting on the table with the comments in light of any support of the man who designed this Rwanda Democratic Party. The Rwanda Democratic Party, the man who designed the Rwanda Democratic Party, political terrorized and divided.
Nyomble Kanga Lawrence is Grand Bassa County Senator and the political leader, that's Imbato political leader of the opposition Liberty Party.
During the week, Public Works Minister Ruth Coker Collins says the WIAS-led administration has made significant progress in roads connectivities across the country. Roads connectivities across the country has been major issues when it's come to development since its independence on July 26, 1847. But appearing on our sister program, The Freedom on Rise, during the week, Public Works Minister Ruth Coker Collins said government under the WIAS-led administration has made significant progress in roads connectivity throughout the country. According to Minister Coker Collins, from 2018, roads connectivities across the country was around 745 kilometers, adding that up to present, roads connectivities across the country is about 1,270 kilometers. Here is Minister Ruth Coker Collins there speaking during the week.
From 2018, the road connectivity was around 745 kilometers, and then up to date, we are at 1,275. So I just want to make that clear to show that there are a lot of progress being made since 2018. So for the Southeast Corridor,
But let's get that clear. You inherited 745 kilometers.
yes,
You have added, or you have
we are up to now. We are at
the
total
okay.
road.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 1,275 kilometers. So that's where we are. Just try to highlight that before I go into this conversation. Okay. So we know that the Southeastern Corridor is one of our most challenged corridor. But at first it was Lofa and the Southeast Corridor. Today, Lofa is being control in that the pavement have already entered Lofa County and from Salaye going all the way to Basiwen, Zoso, Konya. I mean, it's not paved yet, but you can fly from 70 kilometers to 90 kilometers per hour. So we go strictly to the Southeast Corridor. We know, of course, we know that there is some challenge in the Southeast Corridor. And at first, our challenge started from Ganta. The government probably started on its own, the first 39 kilometers, which is from Ganta to Sakipi. Because the reason why I'm mentioning Nima, because you cannot reach to the Southeast if you don't have a starting point. Yes. So let me just start with that one. So the government took that first bold step. The World Bank said, I have seen, the effort. The World Bank came into place and did the next 61 kilometers, which started us from Sakepe now to Tapeta. In continuation, the World Bank, we are in process to sign the next contract at the end of this month or early next month from Tapeta to Totan, which is another added 40 kilometers. So ahead of us, if we're going straight down to Israel, we got like 65 kilometers, but we're passing through the border, it's about 85 kilometers. So the good news here is that the president, we have tried, and we have a lot of conversation with our partners. It have been agreed. They have clearly said that the money is available.
Which money?
The money to pave the 85 kilometers.
That is from where to where?
From Total now to Zredu. The cash, the funding is available.
Okay.
So what we need to do as the technician, as the technical arm of government is to make sure we do all of the paperwork in terms of procurement. The paperwork are all set and we are waiting for signal from the finance minister because the financial aspect is with them. As soon as we get a signal, we'll start to do our procurement process.
She's Public Works Minister Ruth Coker Collins, and they're explaining the progress the government has made in providing quality roads in Liberia.
Expelled national chairman of the National Patriotic Party, James Biden, had taken another political turn ahead of the October election by endorsing the presidential bid of former Vice President Joseph Boyka. Senator Biden took the decision during the week when majority members of the legislative staff pledged support and endorsed the presidential bid and vice presidential bid of Joseph Boyka and Senator Jeremiah Kuhn in the joint chambers of the 54 legislatures. Political pundits believed that the coalition for democratic change is maced with opposition figures pretending to be supporter of the party and the president, thus challenging President Weah to reshuffle the party ahead of the elections. Speaking Tuesday, Maryland County Senator Biden said Liberia is not moving in the right direction. As such, it is time to join other Liberians in rescuing Liberia.
I want to join you to give special thanks to the Lawrence. Actually, she made our day on Sunday. She made the country's day on Sunday. And the decision she took in Grand Bassa will be the fulcrum around which the Bwaka Kun's ticket will win the next election. That is why you refer to as selflessness, placing the country above personal interest, and she will reap the reward tomorrow. It's about time that we steer the country in a different direction. Like one of the speakers said earlier, I'm one of those who crafted the Coalition for Democratic Change. It was my belief that the coalition would have done better than the Unity Party. That was the basis on which I was a part of those who crafted the Coalition for Democratic Change. I said, understandably, that we have been from the Southeast, the Southeast being the most forgotten region of the country, in the same position as Madam Salih would do for the Southeast better than what Madam Salif did. And understandably, nobody would have thought any different because he's from there. In the same position as Madam Salif as president, should do better. As I speak to you today, it saddens my heart that we put all of our energy into making Senator Weah as president, and the most forgotten people in the country are the Southeasterners. You don't have an idea of what I'm talking about. Since Tottenham, the Southeast never saw a paved road until the Unity Party-led government took over this country. The president was dedicating a park, I think sometime yesterday or day before yesterday, and people were clapping for him. The president reached the highest level of soccer in the world. If you want to leave a milestone in the country, it has to be better than SKD. We try and try and try to advise, and the advice will not be heard. And the country is bigger than friendship. There are many presidents who are concerned about the Hulu value in the NPP. We have two groups of people in the NPP. We have the lawless group and the people who are on the side of the law. So the lawless people are where they are, protected by the establishment. I'm the duly elected national chairman of the party. When the country is going back and the leader thinks he's the best, it's about time that we rescue the country.
James Biden is Maryland County Senator there speaking.
We now take a short musical break to be right back. And this is Keep on Trying. We now take our comments on our live Facebook feeds.
First, beginning with Tita Ja. She says, "Good morning, Freedom Family." Next to her is David Johnson. And he says, "I'm watching from Dry Res Market." Good morning, guys. Good morning also. Junior Jep Jepa. Good morning, guys. I'm watching from Minnesota. Thank you. James Zaza follows. Good morning to the Freedom. That's Freedom Evan. Next is William H. Rocks Jr. He says, "Good morning, Freedom Evan. I'm joining you guys from So Clinic, Pinneville, opposite Nigeria Shop." James Zaza again. Good morning to the Freedom Evan, followed by John Yapaulo. Good morning, guys. Thank you for your work watching from Banga City, Bang County, Liberia. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Start to share the live video. Encourage other people to join as we provide you information that occurred during the course of the week.
You can keep your comments coming in. We'll read it out for you on the Freedom News Archive. Freedom News Archive is where we rumble you through the major happenings, the major headlines that we carry during the week on our news program.
And so we have many people joining the live Facebook view now. Here we have Peter Augustine Morba says, "Good morning, guys. Good job. Thanks for the compliments." Also, Brighter Bennett Benson. Good morning, Freedom Radio Liberia. I'm watching you from Johnsonville, Lee Hill, followed by O'Neill G. Mag. He says, "Good morning, Freedom Evan family. I'm watching from Turkey, Istanbul. Thank you so much." Sylvester P. Bali says, "Good morning. I'm joining you from Sino County, Furmanville. Good morning." Lawrence says, that's Lawrence E. O'Neill says, "Good morning, Freedom Evan, watching from the Midwest of the U.S." Thank you so much. Thank you for following. So keep sharing the live, keep sharing the live, keep encouraging in order to follow the program.
We now bring the music down now to take our next development. During the week, Vice President Joe Howard Taylor, termed as hypocrisy by some representatives and senators of Capitol Hill, purporting to be on a mission to rescue Liberia. According to the Vice President, there were systemic things that stopped critical voices of major players over the 12 years of the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Boakai administration from wishing they are coming back with their deceptive words claiming to rescue Liberia. VP Taylor further that President Weah, over the last few years, has given support to all those legislators, especially in the 2020 election, who are claiming to be on a rescue mission to save the country. Vice President Joel Howard Taylor was speaking Thursday, when that's Thursday of the week, when the majority members of the legislative staff was at the legislature presented a petition to that August body rejecting the endorsement of Joseph Boakai and Jeremiah Coon. Here is Vice President Joel Howard Taylor there speaking during the week.
Over the past few days, I've been thinking about what a rescue mission means. If someone comes up with a slogan during the campaign or during any period and say they are on a rescue mission, are they rescuing Liberia or are they rescuing themselves? Yeah, I think the first thing we got to think about what because they didn't say anything, they just say rescue. Rescuing who? You know, when you go and there's an academic setting, so we can talk small, small things. If someone talks about a rescue mission, what are you trying to do? You are trying to save people from a very dangerous and difficult situation. And that you want to save the majority of the people. The majority of our people are young people from 18 to 35 to 40 years old because they make up 60% of our population. All of you, most of you here. You are trying to save these people. You know what they say? The United Party had 12 years undisrupted because I was an opposition senator and I knew what it meant. 12 years. But there were systemic things that stopped the voices of major players over the 12 years. So today they want to come back and start a whole rescue mission. Rescue mission for who? If you say you want to do a rescue mission, there are tools that you need. I don't think they have thought this whole process through. I don't want to break it down today so we can forget about it. Yeah. What is their plan? President George Manuel Weah hit the road running with our PAPD plan that we are implementing to the fullest. President, we are over the last few years, especially in the 2020 by-elections, all the people got support from the president, even though they were opposition. They might necessarily do that for anybody or they choose some boycott. It was a close government that only dealt with the people they know. And everybody knows that. President William has always gone beyond the ordinary. You thought you say, oh, we need everybody come. I even want to start calling some names, or then I was making noise yesterday that got support for the president. That they are elected today. And his point was, not even Jim Bunny won. That was the all they got money for the president.
She's Liberia's Vice President, Madam Ajua Howard Taylor, determined as hypocrisy by some representatives and senators of Capitol Hill purporting to be on a rescued mission to rescue Liberia.
During the week, President George Weah says his overwhelming preoccupation has been to fulfill his promises to the people of Liberia and improve their standard of living. He said he will continue the development of Liberia as the utmost obsession of his government than to be bothered and distracted by mischief and falsehood provided by dictator. The Liberian chief executive made the comments over the weekend when he spoke to reporters while inspecting projects in PHP and Doe community, respectively.
No, but what made me happy, because I made a lot of people happy, that made me happy. I don't care who say you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. You know? Because if I was somebody where you got to be me, then today we'll not be talking. You were not here when CDC took me from their leadership. Did I complain? I stayed there. I wanted to be even a sweeper in CDC because I believe that we are a team. And this team that we got here, that you give us the six years you give us, our team. You know what I'm saying? Like I said to the cabinet meeting, gentlemen, thank you. Because in so many years, what we didn't see in 5 years, this is what we apply. So congratulations. If the Liberian people give us another chance, let us do more. And let's leave the legacy we want to leave. So I don't have time for you can't do this, you can't do that. Look, I'm a focused person. And like I said, I'm not, it's sad to say that I'm not a politician. I was brought on board by these people. And the people brought me because they wanted something. You understand? So what we're doing now, the Liberian people just got to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? This thing happened, we'll go to Nigeria, we see it, we'll go to Africa, we admire it, and we come back, we don't have it. But I travel the world. Everything that I see in the world that's supposed to be applied in Liberia, will trust me, we will do it. You know, the PHP will soon be done. It's 85%. And you're going to see, I went to Senegal and I asked the president, I love this. Give it to me. I want to take it to my country. He said, but this is expensive, how are you going to do it? I said, it doesn't matter. Give me the project and now you will see. So I will be inviting him to come and cut the ribbon in PHP to see that, oh, so the young man. So I'm a determined, focused person. I don't get time. Anybody who want to move me is your business. And you understand? That's why I go into the election. I can persuade my people to say, look, we're all doing nothing. You voted for me. But I've done so much. You understand? I've done so much in the system they gave me. You understand? And I should have been people vote for me again. You know, I'm not going from one TV to another TV to justify what I can do. My fingerprints are all over the place. You know, all over the place. It's not by mouth. You know, it's a handwork. So I'm glad that people happy.
President Weah is Liberia chief executive, there re-echoing his commitment to the Liberian people.
We now take a musical break to intersperse the program.
hotlbr.com. This is the time we come together to keep our country safe forever. So open up your heart, let a true love come right in. 'Cause love is all we need to make a stand. Let's understand one another and learn to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Jiba will now dedicate this song to the Liberian people. After a period of 133 years of one-party system, it is the time that the Liberian people will vote and choose their own leader. So let us all celebrate a peaceful election for unity and prosperity. Yeah! Ooh la la! together, let us walk. Black, white, brown, red, blue, yellow. So we don't want the trouble. We don't want the fire. We don't want the trouble. We don't want the fire. Yeah. Let's come together and work together. Trouble next time we solve our problem, mama. Discrimination we solve our problem, mama. Let's come together.
Okay, so back to our Facebook Live. Comments coming from our viewers, beginning with Chanel. Chanel, she says, "Good morning, Freedom," and I'm watching from Swansea City, located in Matali, followed by CEO Tony One Man Kula. Good morning, Freedom Radio. I'm joining you from Ganta City, Nima County. Camille James Laming says, "Good morning, bro. Good morning." So come straight to Bencisha Junior Ba. Good morning. I'm following live. That's from District System. Thank you. David Johnson says, "I'm watching from Dry Rest Market." And he asks a question: is there any political party in Liberia that can rescue this country for the next 6 years? Let us give President we a chance to complete his job. While Samuel David Coley Senior says, "Keep the good work." Thanks for the compliment and the words of encouragement also. Uh, Joshua Jusebon as Belwet, good morning, Freedom family. I'm joining you from like, I think that should be in Grand Bassa County. Mohammed Kabar comes in with this one. He says, "Good guys, may Allah bless you every day in your life. May Allah bless, accept President. We are 2023 all the way." Okay, so watching from Norway, that's Cecilia Mazakwe. And Mohammed Kamara comes in again. He said, "We love Mr. President. We are for life." He comes in again, say, "From Old Rule, I love we are for life." All right, so that's where we are.
Together, baby. Trouble next time we solve our problem, mama.
And the group is called Zach and Jira. Yeah, into passing our Freedom News archive this morning. Wherever you are, why are you listening to us? Good morning, this is Freedom News archive. We now take this down now to run you through our developments. Yeah. Liberia Maritime Authority boss Eugene Nangwe during the week underscored several gains made on his watch since his appointment as commissioner. Outlining several other things, Commissioner Nangwe cited Liberia being the second registry in the world, honoring of Liberian graduates from the World Maritime Institute and the contribution of the authority to the national budget in an immense way. Commissioner Nangwe, however, admitted to inheriting a healthy Liberian Maritime Authority from the former Commissioner Tata Cody as he expressed gratitude. Here is now Commissioner Nangwe speaking during the week.
Yeah, I inherited from very solid program, maritime program, very strong. So I've been building upon what I met to make it stronger. Currently, the Liberian Registry is the second in the world and the best in the world. I took over. The president gave me the mandate to ensure that Liberia again becomes the number one registry in the world. And I've been working tediously to ensure that that happens. And as a result of that, we are claiming and claiming. The Liberian flag on ships has been flown very high. And we are providing the best ancillary service. So in that aspect, we're very strong. Locally, the Maritime Authority is comprised of a lot of professionals working together to ensure that our industry also domestically advance. And in spite of our position as the preeminent black state, post state, and coastal state, we are also looking at ways to encourage young Liberians. Because if Liberia is currently number 2 and the best in the world, why is it that Liberian young people are not on those ships? So our training program, our program to ensure that maritime professionals are trained and prepared for the industry is well on course. Very soon we'll be honoring some of our recent graduates from the World Maritime Institute who have come back with high scores. We have the Liberia Maritime Training Institute that is the premier in the region. And because of all of these things, I can say to you very easily that our program, Liberia's program, is on course and is delivering. Apart from the fact that we contribute very heftily, we give a very hefty sum to our budget, and it continues to increase and increase our contribution, not just to the budget, but to other aspects. We're on good footing. We signed a maritime transport agreement with China. We signed with other countries. We have an agreement with the Italian Navy. We have agreements with the Brazilians. So we have reached out.
In another development, Commissioner Eugene Nangwe has disclosed that the Liberian government, through the Liberian Maritime Authority, is making frantic efforts in the case involving that's two of government's officials in South Korea surrounding rape. Making the disclosure on the Super Money show during the week, the LMA boss says, as part of their many efforts, the authority is ensuring that the wives of both Tar and Brown are expected to be taken to Korea as the case progress.
Well, like I said, they were found guilty by the court in Busan, and the lawyer has since filed an appeal. So the appeal process is ongoing on the 18th. The 18th is tomorrow. The lawyer is having another meeting with both Mr. Brown and with Mr. Tar. Because he have made some proposals. And from the side of the Liberian government, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and I have had meetings with Korean officials, including very recently with the Korean ambassador, to see whether there could be a diplomatic resolution of the matter. And as you know, like in Liberia, in Korea, the government cannot intervene into a judicial matter while it is still in court. So the fact that an appeal has been filed, it means that we have to wait for the conclusion of the appeal process for us to foster the diplomatic engagement. And I just want to say that it's an unfortunate situation all over, for the families, for maritime itself, our image as a registry, all affected. It's an unfortunate situation, but also embarrassing, but yet there are people involved, human beings, on all sides. They are our employees, and we have to intervene. I was in London, I had a conversation again with Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Starr sent me a letter. In fact, what we're doing as an authority, we have invited 4 family members of 2 of them to travel to Korea. We're giving them an offer to meet with their husband, children, and all of that to have an interaction. But the case is still ongoing because an appeal has been filed.
A follow-up to that is that
He's the Liberia Maritime Authority boss, Len Eugene Nangwe, there speaking during the week.
During the week, Liberia National Police arrested and charged a 37-year-old woman identified as Myron Flomo with theft of property. Addressing the news conference Tuesday at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police in Monrovia, police spokesman Moses Carter said defendant Myron Flomo was arrested in Pinsville after she duped several citizens from both Pinsville and Badnardville, respectively. According to Carter, defendant Flomo duped and made away with several items valued over 5,000 United States dollars plus 12,900 Liberian dollars, adding the case is in violation of Chapter 15, Subchapter D, Section 15.51 of the revised Penal Law of Liberia.
In view of the above investigative findings, coupled with facts and circumstances surrounding the crime as committed by this defendant, including Mariam voluntary admission statement of stealing from the entertainment center of the victim on separate occasions for which said items were sold on the local market and the proceeds was diverted into her personal act used for her own personal gains, depriving the owners of their properties. The investigative team resolved to charge defendant Mariam Flomo with the crime theft of property value $5,500 United States dollars with 12,960 Liberian dollars, an act which violates Chapter 15, Subchapter D, Section 15.51 of the revised penal law of the Republic of Liberia.
Moses Sartuday speaking. To this next development, World Health Organization, with funding from the government of the Federal Republic of Germany, during the week donated 2 ambulances and 1 Toyota Land Cruiser pickup to the government of Liberia. The donated items were turned over to the Liberian government through the Ministry of Health to support the operation of the oxygen plant in Liberia, a boost to the country's infectious disease capacity. Donating the vehicles Tuesday, May 16, 2023, WHO country representative Dr. Peter Clements said the vehicles are intended to support and boost infectious disease control center in Liberia.
These are meant to support infectious disease center, the management of COVID-19 and other diseases that may be admitted at the center. The second vehicle pick up Land Cruiser to coordinate the oxygen plants in the country. You know, there are almost over 10 oxygen plants. They need to be coordinated. 2 are already functioning, and moving cylinders from one facility, one county to another will be challenging. So this is to coordinate the oxygen plants operations in the country. We all know that the legacy of COVID is a long way to go, and it is time to strengthen the health system. The infectious disease center will serve beyond the COVID, severe cases of COVID, in case they happen. So it will help the health system in strengthening case management, and the same with the oxygen plant, which are critical to save lives. We think these vehicles, this logistical support is critical for Liberia post-COVID. These vehicles were bought by the generous contribution of the government of the Federal Republic of Germany. Today, I have His Excellency the Ambassador with me to witness. During the COVID response, the government of Germany supported WHO through our headquarters and the region of, and part of these resources are what have come to the country. During the opening of the oxygen plant, I highlighted the support came primarily from the government of the Federal Republic of Germany. And during that event, I mentioned that 2 ambulances and 1 Land Cruiser pickup are being ordered. So this is in fulfillment of that promise I made to you at that time and to His Excellency the President.
For his part, German ambassador to Liberia, Dr. Jacob Hubert, said Liberia's health system had suffered many challenges in recent times, ranging from the Ebola virus to COVID-19 and many others. According to him, it is now time that Liberia uses its experience learned from COVID-19 and other infectious diseases to inform and strengthen the capacity of the health sector.
The Liberian health system has suffered many shocks in past and recent times. After the Ebola virus disease outbreak in 2014 to 16, which had exposed the weaknesses in the health sector, coupled with the deaths of nearly 500 health workers, the government, with the support of partners, elaborated an investment plan for building a resilient health system in Liberia, which prioritized 9 key investment areas, among which the building of a fit-for-purpose health workforce, the re-engineering of the health infrastructure, and the strengthening of the emergency preparedness and response and surveillance. While Liberia benefited from the experience of the Ebola virus disease during the recent COVID-19 pandemic, the country still recorded a high number of health workers who got infected with the disease. because most recommendations from the EVD, Ebola virus disease response, have not been fully implemented. So a critical element of a resilient health system is the ability to use lessons learned and experiences from previous public health emergencies to inform and strengthen capacities to prepare for future emergencies of any nature. It was during the third wave of COVID-19, driven mainly by the Delta variant, that mainly patients with severe forms of the disease could not get the necessary support due to inadequate capacity for isolation and to limited oxygen supply. At that time, the country had only 3 functional oxygen plants with a capacity to produce 30 to 40 cylinders of oxygen per day at the beginning of the outbreak. A patient with critical disease required at least 15 liters of oxygen per day.
Receiving the donation on behalf of the government of Liberia, Health Minister Dr. Wilhelmina Jala expressed excitement over what the WHO and the German government have done. According to her, the government will make sure that the vehicles are maintained and used for their intended purpose.
Mr. Ambassador, Dr. Clement, on behalf of the government and people of Liberia, we want to say a big thank you for these donations. As you have rightly stated, all of the situation that happened through the COVID, and up to present, we are very pleased and honored to receive these 2 ambulances and the Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser, as you know, we began operation of the oxygen plant at Star Base, where we'll be able to provide oxygen within and around Monrovia as the other plants are operating. So we hope that this Land Cruiser will be used to bring our fill and empty cylinder back and forth to make sure that no facility will struggle from oxygen and no patient will have oxygen need that will not be taken care of. The 2 ambulances that have been provided are for the infectious disease unit. The infectious disease unit at Starbase, it was open during the COVID. Now it will be open as an infectious disease unit because not only COVID will affect Liberia, you have Lassa fever, you have measles, you have other cases of concern that need to be treated in that particular unit. We already received the equipment for the intensive care unit that will be setting up with proper training for the staff that will be working there to be able to use. So we will constantly have a unit here in Liberia where anyone with any kind of infectious disease, especially within the Monrovia area, will be transferred. The other counties already have smaller units, and if they have a patient that needs to come for more intensive care, then this ambulance will be used only for transporting individuals with infectious disease. We do not want to use it to transport well patients or other patients because we want no cross infection. So there will be assigned to the infectious disease unit at Star Base, and if
Dr. Wilhelmina Jala is Liberia Health Minister there speaking. Earlier, he listened to WHO representative to Liberia, Dr. Peter Clement, and the German ambassador.
Madam President of Africa, Layman Nawoka, calling all the women, every single woman, mother, auntie, or black means woman. Let us unite. Come, mamas, come and save your child. Baby Earth is breathing and wailing and needs your tender embrace. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's guides, ooh, come save your child. Come save your child.
During the week, a movement for democracy and reconstruction of Senator Prince Johnson expelled 3 of its executive members from the party due to alleged constitutional violations. Addressing scores of newsmen at the party's headquarters in Congo the party's youth league chair Zamperi said the decision was made following an investigation conducted by a board of inquiry appointed by the National Executive Committee of the party. According to Piri, the investigation found that the accused members violated Article 14A of the MDR Constitution, which prohibits any registered member from owing loyalty to another party or influencing fellow partisans to pledge allegiance to another party. Yeah, it's Zampiri speaking during
Partisan Bangura and Partisan Yelu of Sims Warren CDC paraphernalia on February 4th, 2023 as support of President who have gathered to endorse his re-election. The investigation established that Honorable Gombu Kago is canvassing the people of District Number 4, Nima County, in support of CDC candidate presidential bid against the interests of MBR in the upcoming election. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, at the May 13, 2023 meeting convened by the chairman of the governing council of MPR in Kansas City, Representative Kagon assured Senator Prince Juan Johnson and the others represent that he supports the CDC presidential candidate against the interests of MPR. Accordingly, member of the press, President Bangura, Yelu, and Kagon actions violate the following articles of MDR Constitution as well. Article 12E, unauthorized commitment of the party to NND. Article 12A and B, misrepresentations of the party image. Ladies and gentlemen, Article 12 of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction Constitution says
he is the youth chair of the Movement for Economic and Reconstruction of Senator Prince Johnson Zampiri there. And he's taking us home on the program, The Freedom News. Half hour. But just before we take leave of you, here now are our top stories that we follow. The chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change Strategic and Engagement Committee, Len Eugene Nangwe, during the week disclosed that the government of Liberia and the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development has signed a loan agreement in the tune of 100 million United States dollars for the construction of a coastal highway road project.
Expelled national chairman of the National Patriotic Party, James Biden, has taken another political U-turn ahead of the October election by endorsing the presidential bid of former Vice President Joseph Boakai.
Public Works Minister Ruth Coker-Collins says the Wias-led administration has made significant progress in road connectivities across the country. We'd like to say many thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped in making this edition of the Freedom News Archive a success. On behalf of the entire news team at Freedom Communications Incorporated, my name is Gerard Morris. I presented along with
Stephen Compton.
Goodbye from Monrovia.
You know you have strong in your mouth.